Hi Lance, welcome.
Hey Tom, hey everybody. What I thought I might read is some Aham Sphurana. It's dated the 17th of July, 1936, and it's Surrender, and it's 2 pages long, so I won't read the whole thing. I could just read the first two, the question and answer, the first two questions and answers. I think I'll read the first three. So question, is surrender a means to overcome and vanquish the vasanas, tendencies of the mind, thus, thus resulting in realization? Yes, provided it is unconditional, surrender is foolproof way to realize the self. Question, what is the guarantee that I shall realize the self if I surrender? Bhagavan, you are missing the point of surrender. Question, how so, Bhagavan? To surrender is to let go of everything without anticipating or expecting anything in return. Letting go of everything also encompasses abandoning the aspiration to realize the self. Suppose you are holding a red hot iron ball. Your hand is quivering in unbearable pain. Somebody suggests to you that you let go. If your response is, what benefit will I obtain if I let go? Will not the other person wonder, poor fellow, the pain of holding that dreadful thing in his hand, has it addled his brains? That is how it is to me, having now listened to your question. Samsara is intolerably painful. Why look for reasons to let go of it? If samsara still appears as being acceptable to one, no matter however remotely or infinitesimally so, can he realize the self? One who does not see samsara as actually being the horribly excruciating misery that it indeed really is, will he realize the self?
Thank you, Lance. Thank you so much. Again, thank you, Lance. Anything you want to say or ask?
It goes on further, so if people are interested, I highly recommend reading the whole thing. It's just 2 pages. I think in my experience, I mean, my life experience and then my current experience, samsara has always been a nightmare. And, um, there's beautiful parts to it. And what I've learned from you and Ramana and other teachers is that, those beautiful parts are the self shining through. And so more recently, you don't have to go looking for the suffering in the world. It's it'll come to you. It's there. It's everywhere, right? And I'm I'm even I hardly ever watch the news anymore. I turned it on just the other day, and there was, the horrible shooting in Minneapolis. Somebody came into a church and killed two children that were praying, injured, 30 others. I just found it inspiring. I think in my own spiritual practice, I effort too much. That's my guess. And that image of letting go of the hot, fiery iron ball, I just found it supportive.
Thank you, Lance. Thank you. So you see, why do we not let go of this hot, burning sphere, red hot, scorching our hands, weighing us down? This samsara, why do we not let it go? Why do we not let go of the copper coins? If we let go of the copper coins, we will realize we are made of gold, but we cling to the copper coins. In the UK, we have these 1 penny coins, these 2 penny coins, 1p, 2p coins, you know. Obviously, the 2 penny coins are worth twice as much as the 1 penny coins. Twice as good. So we're scrabbling about in this analogy of samsara with these copper coins, these 1 and 2 penny coins, 1 and 2 pence pieces, hoping we'll get some more of the 2 pennies, 2p coins. Why don't we let go? The more we abide in stillness and silence and feel the radiant happiness, radiant peace and bliss within us. The more we do this, the more we abide as the self, the more we connect with divinity. For me, it's the form of Bhagavan Ramana, mainly. Maybe for you too, but it doesn't matter on the name or form. whatever form of the divine you prefer. Jesus, Krishna, whomever, whatever. Buddha, Allah, Jesus, something else, whatever it is. However you would access this, whether it's God, Guru, or Self, which are one. God, Guru, Self. Remember our Holy Trinity. God, Guru, and Self are one. When you spend more time connecting with one or more of these, feeling the inherent happiness that is within us, that is our nature, that is Bhagavan's nature, that is God's nature, that is our own divinity, His divinity, our divinity. The more we are getting in touch with the gold within us, the more we see, not intellectually, but deeper than intellectually, the more we come to feel and realize that these copper coins are not as valuable. Our whole life isn't about getting the 2 penny coins as opposed to the 1 penny coins. We will not let go of the 1 and 2 penny copper coins if that's all we know. We will think it to be valuable. We will not let go of the burning red hot sphere, iron sphere, the iron ball. We will not let go of it because we think it is valuable. If it's all we know, why would we let go of our entire world if it's all we know? Only when we come to touch something else. Only when we come into contact with something else, what we truly are, do we start to even be able to let go. How can we let go if we think it's all we know? It's valuable. It feels valuable to us. Once we come back to ourselves, once we come to Bhagavan, we start to see the truth. We start to come into contact with the truth. Fills us with happiness and bliss and power and strength. We start to discover there's something greater than samsara. Before we thought samsara was everything. Samsara means the world, including the body mind, your body mind, all the body minds, all the things. We think that is the life. We think that is the value. That is valuable. That is precious. But it means we haven't come into contact with what we really are. When once we start to come into contact with what we really are, only then can we start to perhaps see that something is more valuable than samsara. You know, it is possible. I'm changing my metaphors now. It is possible to it's possible to be in an abusive relationship and not realize you are in an abusive relationship. It's very possible, especially if it's all you know. That's all you know. You may think, oh, this is just the way it is. This is what love looks like. This is what a relationship is like. It's an abusive relationship in this analogy, in this example, metaphor. But if it's all we know, we don't recognize it. Maybe we say, oh, they're not that bad, or something. We hold on, we clutch on to this samsara, this red hot iron ball that is burning us, scorching us, because we don't recognize it for what it is. Because it's all we know. What do we have to compare it to? Nothing. Once we start coming into contact with Bhagavan, We start to realize metaphorically what a harmonious, healthy relationship is like. And then we start to say, oh my gosh, all this other stuff, this is an abusive relationship. It doesn't have to be this way. This actually happened to someone I know. They were in a relationship. It wasn't the worst relationship in the world, but it wasn't the best relationship in the world either. There were lots of good things about it too. And then they met someone else who treated them so much better. They said, oh my gosh. They thought to themselves, oh my gosh, I never knew it could be this good. I just didn't realize. It was outside their realm of perception. They were out their realm of imagination. They couldn't even imagine it till they experienced it. And then they started realizing all the problems in the relationship they were in. And they couldn't accept the current relationship anymore. They couldn't go back. It's a true story within Maya, of course. Truly, I just want to pick Lance up on one point as well. He was correctly correctly relaying something I said, but I'm going to contradict something I said previously. There, but Lance said he knows that the good parts of samsara are the parts when the self shines through. That is true. I've said that before. That is true on that level. But really, there are no good parts of samsara. The good parts of samsara, the bad parts of samsara, they're like the 2 penny and 1 penny coins. Yeah, they're all copper coins. They're all ultimately worthless. There are no good parts of samsara. While we're in the dream, it appears that some parts are good, some parts are not good. But once you've got rid of it, you realize, oh my gosh, all of it was terrible. It's just that we didn't know any better. We didn't know any better. We used to think some parts were good, some parts were bad. But actually, once you come to truth, you realize all of it was bad. Even the good, the apparently good, was bad. We just didn't know any better. Yeah, we were chasing the 2 penny coins and in favor of the 1 penny coins. We didn't realize they're both copper coins and we're made of gold. This not knowing any better, technically, is called ignorance. This is the jargon. This is the technical language. Is not always helpful language. We just didn't know any better. There are no good parts of samsara. Relatively, of course, there are. But if you're looking for liberation, eventually you'll come to realize none of it is good. You don't have to have this view if it's too extreme. That's fine. But maybe a part of you will hear this. Once you realize how good it can be, you won't tolerate all this anymore, you know? You won't want it anymore. Just like the abusive relationship. Once you realize how good a relationship can be, you won't take all the abusive stuff anymore. The apparently good part, the apparently bad part. You're not interested anymore. Oh, but that person who can be abusive can also be really supportive. I don't care. I don't want that relationship anymore. I see it all now. Sometimes they can be really kind and caring, and they did support me through that one time I found it difficult. You see, you stop. I don't want any part of it anymore. I can do much better than that. Much better than all of that stuff. I don't need that anymore. You see how it all comes as a package. This the abuser in this analogy. Again, this is a metaphor. I'm not giving actual relationship advice here necessarily, you know. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Depends on the relationship. Once we taste what we really like, what we really are, we stop putting up with all this other stuff. We just stop becoming interested. We just turn off. So I'm not interested. Until then, we will remain interested. We cannot force these things. They will happen as they happen. Bhakti, devotion, connection, in my experience, is the key. The intellectual stuff, yes, that may help you too, but it will take you so far. Because our attachments run deeper than the intellect. Our attachment to kith, to kin, to body, to mind, to world, to our views, our tribes, this runs much deeper than the intellect. So, bhakti, connection, love, self-knowledge is the key. For many of us, it will mean coming to satsang again and again and again, feeling presence, feeling the happiness, feeling the bliss, receiving transmission. Sometimes it will be better than others, but keep on coming. And away from satsang too. Be still. Come back to yourself as much as you're able to connect with Bhagavan. Repeat his name. How simple it is just to repeat his name, to see his picture, to imagine his form. He's always connecting with the divine, with Bhagavan Ramana. Or you can substitute your own guru or God or form of the divine in if you prefer. Whatever works for you. It's all the same ultimately. But I recommend connecting with Bhagavan Ramana if you can. It's very powerful, especially because his teachings are so clear. There's something very powerful about his name, his form, and that of his guru, Arunachala. Very powerful, very pure. And the verbal teachings are there for us too. So clean, so clear, so simple. Largely stripped clean of superstition and complicated words and tradition and all that. All the impurities that build up is largely clean of all of those. So I encourage you to come to Bhagavan, to think of him, connect with him. When you connect with someone who is genuinely self-realized, their name, their form, it becomes very powerful, very powerful. Their power is your power. But they can push you from outside in towards yourself. silent energy, silent power, silent energy.